How long have you known Sam for?
I've known Sam since last year. I met him in the combine, I believe 18 combine.
Okay. And have you
And
connected with him much since?
yeah, we've connected on and off here and there. He just either him just giving me words of encouragement just to keep playing, working on my craft, and that and another he would watch some game film, give me some tips here and there, just basic stuff like that.
How are you feeling about your ability to return for season two? A lot of teams hitting you up.
I've had about 3 or 4 interviews. I felt like I had a good season 1 success, and I've tried to come into this off season and try to grind myself back into the league. So I felt like I've done a pretty decent job in doing so.
I feel like, sorry, I was talking on, but I feel like if people were in the league year one, they kind of know you, or they feel like they know you, right? So you might
Correct.
not have that many interviews, I think.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I haven't had a crazy amount, like only like 3, but I don't know how many more I'm gonna get. But I feel like I built up a good reputation for myself.
Okay. So tell us a little bit more about your play style. Okay, I guess what position do you want to play first of all?
Center's my most prominent position, but I feel like I could play the 4 or the 5 in the league.
Okay. So if we brought you on as a center, what's your play style?
I'm defensive oriented. Like I consider myself a defensive leader on the team. It's what I pride myself in. So rebounding, defense, and then controlling the offense too with, calling out plays here and there if needed.
How do you like to defend the pick and roll?
It just depends. If it's a shooting center, I would tell the lock, the guard who's guarding it, to detach from the guard. If he's drive to the paint, I pick up the point guard, and then the lock or the other player would pick up the center if he was a shooting center. If it's not, then I just do a small hedge and then get back to the center if it's an
Okay.
inside center.
And then what's your ideal way to score? Are you attacking from the corner? You like to mash? You like to hit a mid range? Some fancy
Shoot, with
footwork?
yeah, with this 2K, the mashing isn't necessarily there. It's a very guard oriented game when it comes to scoring. So my job as a center would be to set good screens for the guards, either off ball, on ball screens, and then to get rebounds, kick out, and then go up occasionally when open and rolling, getting an alley oop or a layup when open. But it's just hard this year in general to like really be a force, down there. You can, but it's just a little bit more difficult.
Okay. You've been obviously you're a veteran at this point, so you kind of understand how season one unfolded, the travel, all that stuff. But I'm curious, what do you know about Bucks gaming?
What do I know about Bucks Gaming? You
Yeah.
guys, you guys have two good pieces in Drake, who Drake is, probably one of the most prominent figures in the community, and then you guys have Big Meek, who I really respect as well as a good 4. He played the 4-5-3, very versatile, and I know you guys have two good core pieces in the league.
Okay. And is this a place you'd want to play?
Yeah, yeah, I respect you, the rest of your team, Sam Fam too. I think he's an incredible asset to your guys' organization, and I like the two pieces that you guys already have in place.
Okay. You have
Yeah.
some-
What happened last year? I mean, I think obviously you started the year off really strong. One of the best defensive centers. Um, can you talk a little bit more about what happened maybe internally and kind of
Sure.
why you think you didn't play toward the end of the season?
Yeah, so we had a backup center, Shockey, who also is a really good player. So the competition there was really, really high. Our season wasn't really going that well. I had a mediocre, I wouldn't say poor performance in one game that kind of led to the benching. And then I think because our season was so bad, we had a very small chance of actually making the playoffs. Shockey came into practice, he did his thing week in, week out, day in, day out. And I think Cody decided to give him that opportunity to showcase his skills. And that was the only position that he played was center. So I think that's kind of how the move was made. And that's pretty much it.
Well, that's really mature, Tucker. You didn't throw anybody under the bus. I like it. This is
No.
good. Yeah. I don't know if you know, um, Cody really wanted to trade you to us at the end of the season. I don't know if he told you that.
Oh, he
Um,
did.
yeah, we really liked you. We thought you would be a good piece for us. But yeah, we were wondering what happened because as a rim protector. I remember in the first 3 weeks of the season, you were, I think, number 1 in rebounds and blocks, right?
Right. Yeah. Right.
So,
What lessons did you learn from season 1 that you can apply to season 2 and share with your rookie teammates?
I would say watch more film than you think you need to. I think that's the most important thing. I didn't realize how important it was. The preparation is so key in order to be a successful team. You might not have to be the most talented team, but the team that watches the most film and the chemistry to be the most successful. So I would just say watching film is so important for the overall success of the team.
Obviously, you're close to the Pacers organization and Cody, and we've seen the direction they've gone with your bigger comp pro-am players, Ramos, Wizard, Wolf. What's your take on building a successful team? Is it the big names? Is it the elite players? Is it teamwork and chemistry? In your words, what is the recipe for success?
I think it's low egos, first of all. A team that, where any player is willing to sacrifice a role or even almost possibly, not play in a certain game for a matchup purposes. Low ego players that are willing to, sacrifice the better of the team. And I think those can actually outweigh the bigger actual names because, the bigger names can have conflicts. Egos can get in the way, which can hinder the success of the team.
Okay. You've been on the main stage. You felt the lights. You felt players, whether it's your teammates like Wolf and Frosty, talking shit or experiencing it on the receiving end. How important is that stage presence in your opinion?
I think it's important, but I also think it's important, not to let that get to you at all. Like for myself in my game, I stay pretty level-headed. I wouldn't consider myself like a major trash talker. I just pretty much just play. The next play moves on. And, there's a lot of other guys that do that trash talking, but that's me. I'm just kind of like, I just play, and it doesn't really affect me that much.
Okay, if you were in our shoes and you're playing fantasy GM, you got Drake, you got Meek, you got yourself probably in the center spot. Who's rounding out the other forward and who's the guard if you're assembling our team?
If I'm assembling, I would have to know what Drake wants to play. That's the thing. Does he want to?
We'll put him at the OP shooting guard pro-am build right now. So we need a point guard forward.
Point guard, right now I have to go with Keena as overall my best point guard. Going into the draft, I feel like his accolades and his success kind of showed that through 19. And then that leaves, if I was at center, a small forward, probably me, maybe another off-ball like shooter, maybe, possibly. I know Drake has a good friend, Lottie. He talked about him. I know they're like best buds. So I think from a team camaraderie perspective, they would do a good fit because I'm pretty sure they played on the same team in 17, 16, and they know each other well. So I would want to bring somebody in with some chemistry.
How do you rank amongst the other centers that are new to the 150? So there's Tucker, the names, May, Pete, Rhea, Shuttlesworth. Like, if you were ranking yourself, where do you put yourself in a top 5, top 10 list?
I would put myself as probably a top 5 center going into the draft based on season 1 production and what I've done so far in the offseason at 19. So I'd probably put myself in the top 5.
Okay. You guys had a slow start last season, right? You had a good group guys. But you had some slow start. How do you overcome that adversity? You've been through it. What lessons have you taken so you could help work with Drake or Meek or whoever we bring on if we start out slow?
See if, I think it's all about changing roles and adapting. I think adapting to the game and, strengths and weaknesses, whether somebody has to be moved here or there. I think it's just all about adapting because we all know that there probably is going to be a huge patch in the game. Even this year, there was one last year. There probably is going to be one this year. And I think we just have to really look at our strengths and weaknesses and put people in the best position to win. And I think it's just all about adapting.
Okay. How do you handle toxicity? You got a guy on the mic huffing and puffing. Someone's like, no, I'm not moving my spot. This is my archetype. I own it.
I'm pretty even keeled. I don't really get too high or too low, but I would continuously drill in. The fact is, we're a team. This is a team-oriented sport. We're on a professional stage, and we need to do what's best to win. And I would just probably just drill that in and just really try to bring the team together that if we want to win and be successful, then this is what we need to do.
Okay.
What did you think of Cody as a coach?
I thought Cody I thought Cody was great. I thought the whole Pacers structure, organization, their foundation that they built season one, even though we didn't have the success necessarily, was great. Very structure oriented place to work and play, which I really want. I like structure. And coaching wise, I think he was good with X's and O's. One thing is, I think we ran too many plays per myself. I think 2K, you can run plays, and I think it's so important too. But also you get basic X's and O's of just basic pick and roll, pick and pop, etc. That's going to lead to the most success, and then you sprinkle them in. I think he constantly just wanted us running plays, and teams start catching on to those plays, which isn't a good thing. So I think sprinkling plays in you just basic pick and roll, because that's just basic 2K at the end of the day.
And how old are you, Tucker, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 25.
Okay, and do you work or anything right now, or just, I know you tell us you've been grinding 2K.
No, not at the moment. No.
Yeah. Oh, no, just wondering. So other than 2K, do you have any activities or hobbies that
Yeah, hiking, outdoors. I'm constantly outside. If I'm not playing 2K, I'm going on hikes, looking up trails, stuff like that.
I was saying to Andrew before this, I liked your Timberland boot, jean short look. That was like it, man.
Yeah, everyone likes that.
That's good. Cool. No, I just want to get to know you a little better.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What's one aspect of your game that you're most well known for?
In season one, and I was able to kind of continue that into 19 off season. So defensively would be what I would say.
What's one area of your game you'd like to improve?
I would say passing vision. And I think that goes for, I think any center should actually say that, because passing as a center is really important, especially if you get the ball, you need to be able to find the open person. And I think if I can improve passing, my passing vision, then I can overall make my game better.
Okay. I think that about covers it for us. The other question I'm curious about is, you said you've talked to a couple of teams, 3 to 4. How would you gauge that interest level? Do you think you're going to find a home again this year, or do you think, I believe you said you used to work at a warehouse or something like that last year?
Yeah. From what I've got, I feel like I have a chance at coming back in the league. Possibly, my projection for myself, if I was to get drafted, would be mid second round, third round, if I was to project that.
Okay. Is there any questions you have for us that we could help answer? Milwaukee Bucks gaming.
Sure. I just have a few questions that's off topic, not 2K related. What's the weather like? They're kind of over there right now.
Right now, I would say it's similar to Vancouver. I mean, right now we got about 2 feet of snow, and it's snowing.
Oh, really?
I guess you guys deal with more rain. But in the summer, it's cooler. We don't get a lot of humidity. We're on the lake, so it's pretty cool. The weather's favorable. We do get some humidity in the summer, but you know how it goes. You're traveling all the time. You're in AC. But we got the lakes. Where I live, there's plenty of trails, but I don't know about just Milwaukee proper.
So activities-wise, what did the people do there? It's like a...
I would say our guys last year were a little more indoors. They would go on and play Fortnite or Gears or Madden or whatever else they wanted to play. They'd go to the clubs. They'd go eat. There's plenty of good restaurants. Yeah. As far as what we want to do this year, we want to kick it off with a training camp. Allow you guys or whoever we bring on to, do some pro kart racing or laser tag or paintball or a sky zone, and just find fun ways to connect and get to know each other and have some laughs. And we'll sprinkle that in throughout the season. And we're also hoping to have some opportunities for fitness. And we're not talking getting jacked, but just, keep the body moving, sweat out some of the anxiety and stress from the travel and the competition, and just keep things lighthearted. But Milwaukee's a nice city. I would say I've been to Vancouver, Washington. I mean, it's a similar size. It keeps it. It's a good city.
Awesome.
It's that much different than Indiana, though, to be honest. Like, both Midwest towns, probably a little newer. Like,
not as weird as Portland. I know you're just across the river.
I'm like 10 minutes away from Portland. Portland's something in itself. It's definitely strange.
No, I mean, it's a Midwest. It's a good city. I don't know.
We had guys from New York and Houston. They both live here full time now.
Jake and Meek are living here.
Mostly from New York, LA, and Minnesota. They all like it.
So yeah.
Nice.
Any other questions?
No, Andrew, I think that does it.
All right. Well, Tucker, we appreciate it. We wish you the best of luck. Our next steps, we're building on our draft board. We might reach out for a second interview just to touch base again. But if you have any questions, talk to Sam, hit me up. We'll have it answer. All right.
Awesome. Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks, man. See ya.
Yep.